This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
I think we should host a late night show together.
Oh shit!
And talk
Will we get in
about
trouble?
relationships and
Yeah.
sex and adventurous stuff.
I don't do
I didn't know how to prepare, so I figured I would just come and like no one else is here and
Exactly.
we just get to talk.
exactly. That's it.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting and enthralling episode of The Public Affair because my guest has wasted no time checking down her first mimosa off camera, but I think we got it on recording, so we're gonna post it anyway. Now listen, you guys, I'm so excited to have my next guest, but before we do so, I wanna use this opportunity to thank you all again so much for all the love and support that you guys show The Public Affair. We're about to be 5 years old as of the recording of this episode. It's not quite 5 years, but on July 6th, we're celebrating
Awesome.
5 years of The Public Affair. So thank you guys again so much for all the love and support. Of course, to Josh at Rogue Media Network for producing this episode. Thank you, I appreciate you. And of course, to Rogue Media Network for producing all my episodes of The Public Affair. Now, of course, before we continue, my very special guest, Rachel Pate, hello. I'm going to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by David Santabañez with Alinea Real Estate. He is the #1 sales agent in his office. That's why he's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. If you guys don't know how to buy a house, you don't know what the process entails, just call my boy David. He's going to make sure he walks you through the process step by step and get you the best deal on a brand new home for you and or your family. David Santabañez, follow him on social media at David with Alinea. Call the number on the screen, darling. Se habla español también. To my boy David, thank you so much for all you do for me and the show. Of course, to my girl Anika Armstrong, where Armstrong's Bayou Cafe. Isn't she the best? She's
Yes.
fantastic. I love it so much. Serving the most authentic Creole cuisine, darling, with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and more. My favorite, I like to build my own pasta. I like to put crawfish tails and chickens with some chives.
Yes.
And then when I'm big backing, I get a crab cake too. Girl, I put the crab cake on top of the pasta and then mash it up in there.
And I'm saying the sauce.
The sauce is saucing.
Yeah,
it is so good. You guys have got to go check them out. Union Hall, Union Grove. You can also ask her for catering as well. Anika Armstrong, Bayou Cafe. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, my boy Manny Guerrero at Blue Star RV Services. He's a mobile RV tech who can fix all RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and so much more. Listen, if you guys are RVers, I'd be knowing that them RVs break down all the time. Just call Blue Star RV Services. Him and his team are absolutely the best in going out there and ensuring that they're going to go ahead and resolve any issues that you guys are having. And they're so knowledgeable and they're so great. Manny Guerrero is like truly the GOAT. Thank you so much for all you do for me and the show, bro. I truly appreciate it. Of course, to my boy Jeff Davis, the Texas car plug at University Mazda Kia. You don't have to get the best deal on a brand new or pre-owned vehicle. That's right. No credit, bad credit. If your credit's not crediting, your finances are not financing, like me, make sure you guys go ahead to my boy Jeff Davis. He's going to jump through loops to make sure that you get a vehicle rolling off the lot to show off to you and all your friends. He's truly the GOAT. Jeff Davis, thank you so much for all you do for me in the show. And of course, to Jesse and Tanya Sotomayor. We were just talking about going to Lucas Pizzeria at 3125 Bellmead Drive. Yes, because they're a family-friendly restaurant, and me and Rachel are trying to go get the, well, she's not been. You haven't been yet. Okay, I'm going to take you. We're going to get the Eggs Benedict. We're going to get the pancake flight. We're going to get everything. And you guys, you have to check them out. Brunch is Thursday to Monday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Dinner on Fridays and Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. 3125 Bellmead Drive. They're the new premier spot here in town, Lucas Pizzeria. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Rachel, you have wasted no time just coming on camera and just being loosey-goosey. I love it so much. I do. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, darling.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
And let's cheers. Okay. You guys, if you don't know who Rachel Pate is, she's the Vice President of Economic Development at Central Texas African American Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you know, when I invited you on the show, you know, I thought, you know, I just did like a super political episode, right? And I got a lot of hate mail for it. It's all good. It's all good. Everybody's opinions are valid. And you know, when I talk to you on the phone, because when I meet people that are in leadership like you are, you know, a lot of them are real stiff. You
Fair
know,
enough.
they are very stiff. Yeah. And then you were, the first thing she did, she don't give a damn, y'all. She said, "Are you bringing liquor?" And when she said liquor, you know, I bought the mimosas. I think she was expecting Grey Goose or something.
Tequila.
Or tequila. Crown Apple. I should have called my plugs.
Anything.
Yes.
Anything. Thank you for the hospitality.
No, thank you for coming. And thank you for just being authentically you. I want to start right off the bat by asking, can you be authentically you and still represent leadership in the city?
Yes, you can, but you also have to be aware of who you work with and who you work for. Because you have to take your ego out of the mix. You want to be yourself.
Right.
But if everything is about what you want to do and the way that you want to do it, you may burn some bridges, you may step on some toes. And if what you're doing is for the greater good, then hopefully being yourself and still being open to working with others where the missions align, it'll serve you well.
Okay. See, I love her. I love that answer. It's just like I told you, listen, I've had people I've invited on the show who are not in leadership positions, and they're like, I really have to watch my image, Andrew. I've seen how grotesque your show can be. And I'm like, oh, don't even come then. Just don't even come. Yes, okay. And the minute Rachel asked me for liquor, I was like, oh, she's in.
Well, first of all, the image is a thing. I think as we talk about, and I'm assuming you're going to ask me a wide range of questions, but talking about image, 10 years ago, I was in a different place in my life. I was in Waco, but I don't think people, and I definitely know people didn't see me, but I don't think people would have looked at me as a community leader. I didn't look at myself as a leader. So I can't now try to be something that I've grown into and act like that's me all of my life.
Sure.
I have experienced and lived, kind of just testimony. So God's brought me a long way.
And amen to that. And I think that can be the same set for everybody. I just had a conversation on the phone with somebody yesterday who, and in all honesty, I felt like when they were talking to me to propose coming on the show, they were like being not themselves.
Yeah.
And I finally had to stop the conversation mid-conversation. I was like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? I remember you from 10 years ago before I even had the show. Yeah. And I was just on the radio trying to get a name out there for myself. I remember, stop the cap. You know what I mean? Part. Stop the cap. Just be yourself. Take a breath. Smoke your weed. And just
give your offering.
Do you? Yes. Rachel, one thing I have to give you kudos to is when I was doing my homework on you, girl, you win a lot of awards. You've won a lot of awards. And listen, I don't have that many awards. I need an award for dealing with all these bitches. Okay, I do.
Top notch.
Hello. I guess when you talk about from 10 years ago, right? And you didn't see yourself in that position. And then, now you're winning accolades and you are being recognized as a leader. What does that mean to you?
It means a great deal to me. I think when we are kids and you think about being what you want to be, you hope to be successful in it. And I never really landed on one particular thing. But when I walked into the chamber, that passion and that hunger that I had aligned with the work that they were doing. And I just kind of stepped out on faith. I said yes to every opportunity. And then I get a chance now to see that my faithfulness has been fruitful. And so that is how I look at it as, I put in the work, but I was certainly learning as I went and not just being in the right place at the right time, but having the right frame of mind. So it feels good to be acknowledged. It is very validating. And to be able to do that in my hometown, it inspires me to be an inspiration for other people to move up, step up, and stand out.
That's so great. I love that so much. God, I love that you had this like epiphany in your life to like want to make a change in the community.
Oh yeah.
And the community's changing, girl.
It is.
The community's changing. Some say for the good, some say for the bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can get more into that.
Yes.
What inspired you to step in and start making a change?
Motherhood. Motherhood. I have a 10-year-old son. And I had a wonderful opportunity, I would say, to be adventurous, to be rebellious, and spend my 20s and early 30s just kind of finding myself.
Sure.
And I didn't really find myself, maybe boldness and courage. I stepped out, I started a business, I had a jewelry business, and I wanted to be my own boss. But it wasn't until I became a mother that I realized that I didn't feel equipped to take that next level. I recommitted my life to God and was like, look, I need you to take care of me and this baby because I don't know what I'm doing. My mama can't do it for me. Be there for me. And so with that responsibility, I looked at my son and said, here's someone who is depending on me, relying on me to set an example, to have roots, to build a foundation. And I honestly didn't want him to look at me and be like, man, my mama is a bum. Yeah, because that's real. Kids look back like mama did us bad.
Yeah, sure.
She wasn't there. So I wanted to create opportunity for him. And I wanted to say, God put me in a place where what I do affects not just my life and my son's life, but for the greater good.
I wonder, all that being said, how much of your past influenced your decision to, or I guess fueled your drive for that matter? So your son didn't look at you as a
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Look, I still got to protect my image.
That's gonna be the off-camera conversation when we're at brunch.
Like, yes,
when me
y'all
and Rachel
fill in the
get drunk
blanks.
and we go on live social media.
Oh, yes.
Okay, then you make me take it down. Which, by the way, shout out to Andrea Kosar,
Yes.
who got us connected. I love her.
Our very good friend.
One of the very few people I actually really like hosting with.
Well, let me tell you, just as a sidebar, you're right. Shout out to her because she's exactly who she presents herself to be. She's a genuine person of great character, integrity, and heart. So yes, love my dear friend. Glad she made the mutual connection for us.
Yes, and every time I be clocking that tea on social media, she definitely messages me behind the scenes. Andrew, I'm just so proud of you. And I do love her. I love her. Yeah, but no, I guess, we're running back to the question, how much of, were there circumstances in your life growing up that kind of made you think, I don't want my son, to endure any of this?
Well, I'm born and raised in Waco, so I'm just a kid from Waco. I went to Waco High. I went to university, class of 99. Shout out Trojans. What's up? Moving on.
Well,
but I think when you talk about some of that experience of being out there and adulting, I found that I always had a drive to lead. Since third grade, I ran for student council in the third grade because I wanted to be a decision maker. I wanted to be a person that spoke up for people and got the things we wanted.
Yeah.
And so as an adult, I still had that kind of drive. Like, I want to be the group spokesperson, or I want to be in the problem solving group. But I found that no one would ever really let me lead an organization. Yes.
Girl, not you.
Okay. Look, eat your, I don't want to list the employers, but eat your heart out, because I could have been your boss, been your top rock star, but God.
Yes.
But truly.
Just give it to God when you want to keep it cute.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Okay.
So being able to see that I have this potential.
Yes.
I have this desire, but no one is opening that pathway for me. It just kind of reinforced a lot of what I think young people heard here. And we talked about this on the phone about leaving Waco once you graduate.
Yeah.
Don't stay here. The opportunities are not great. The jobs are not great. And at that time, the community was not growing like it is. The economics were probably stable, but we were not booming with tourists. We didn't have a ton of new businesses opening. So as I bided my time here and again kind of got to the point of becoming a mom, I wanted to see opportunity for my son in this place. And I started seeing it for myself. I'm going to say these words, and I'm sure people have heard them, hadn't said them in a while.
Hello.
But the fixer-upper effect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was doing home health care, and I was driving through East Waco, and I saw new houses being built. I saw people who were not Black running outside, no shirts on, with their dogs, not being chased by anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it was just this shift in the demographics, and then in the kind of growth of it. So I was like, something is going on. I watched a documentary on gentrification, and the lights just started coming, on. And I'm like, you know what? I think I want to be in the middle of this change. I want to be in this because I want to understand what's going on. I want to share it with other people. And I certainly want to bring my son up in a way that he understands how changes are made in communities. So I would say, all in all, it is that opportunity to finally step up to leadership that opened, like leadership. Look at this. Leadership was thrust upon me in motherhood.
I'm just tuned in though, right? You know, it's funny that you say that. I saw a post that said the same thing. That somebody driving through East Waco. Did you grow up in East Waco?
I grew up in Southside.
In Southside. Hello. Okay.
Yes.
They have the hottest men. And so, they do. Okay.
Where they at?
We'll talk about if you like Mexicans in a minute. But
Come on, Andrew.
Isn't it something about that just caramel? No, hello. Stay on track.
It is.
Isn't it?
It is.
I'm scared to date Black guys, Rachel.
Well,
I am.
If we're going to be honest.
Okay, hello.
Because we are being honest. No, I appreciate that you said that. I'm scared to date white men.
Are you really?
Really, because of generational trauma. I think there is a very large part of me that still holds on to the victimization of my ancestors and being dehumanized, being used, being violated and abused, and then welcoming, I guess, someone from that culture to be my mate, and think that, is there not is there a history, but maybe is there a what do you call it? A fetishized, oh God.
No,
fetish.
Yeah,
Let's just say that one word. Fetish.
She tried to use her vocabulary on that one. Yes,
I couldn't. The mimosa
Break
took
that.
me.
Yeah, hello.
but being able to be comfortable and lay down, I would say again, just that trauma of there were unforced relationships, pregnancies, families torn apart. And I feel sensitive to that. And I certainly, with my son, don't ever want to be in a situation where we are compromised because someone's intentions with us are not genuine, because what they don't know will hurt them.
Well, that's not the reason why I'm scared to date black guys. I just heard that once you go black, you don't go back. But
and what's wrong with that, Andrew?
Well, maybe I want to come back sometimes.
Well, it's your prerogative.
No, hey, you make a good point, because now it kind of coincides with the question that I was about to ask. Did anything happen to you with a white person that makes you feel traumatized? And would you? Okay, can we share?
We can get into that.
Screw the notes. These notes are boring.
We can get into that.
Okay.
I would say no, not more than maybe any other interaction with anybody. There have been mean and rude people in my life, but never have I dated a white guy in a relationship or been courted by one. So I don't have the experience to kind of pick up the nuances of he's really into you or he's really like into dating a black woman, because that's two different things.
Sure.
But no, I've had great friends, great colleagues, classmates, people from all backgrounds, and especially now working at the Chamber, I've been fortunate to meet some wonderful leaders who have had a great perspective about being partners to an organization like ours that fights for equality.
Okay. No, I love it. No, would you challenge yourself to?
I would challenge myself.
You know what I hear?
Yes.
Can I be honest?
Yes.
And girl, I'm not just like, I love you, right?
I love you too.
I love This Is Everything. And we should have brought 2 bottles, girl.
Yes, because we are almost out.
What I'm hearing is, and if I'm being like ignorant, tell me.
No.
What I'm hearing is because of the things that happened like in the past when it came to like white people and black people. Do you know what I mean? You mentioned being sensitive to that, right? Which understandably so. I wonder, would you challenge your own, I guess, not intuition? Would you challenge yourself and maybe going out with a white guy?
I would.
You know what I mean? And then maybe seeing that maybe they're not all like that. You know what I mean? We can acknowledge that it exists.
Yeah.
My last guest just said we don't talk about racism enough in the Spanish culture because our families be racist too. That's a different conversation too.
Look, I had that conversation with some Hispanic friends, and I was like, I'm just listening.
And for some reason, it's more prevalent between black and white people, but we don't talk about it enough in our families, which that's a different episode. But for you, you should maybe challenge yourself to like let a
I'm
white
open
man.
To, well, first of all, they're not asking me out. They're not checking for me, and if they are, they are being a little shy.
There's something about a white man that likes black women that they're hot. Like I don't know what it is. It's different when it's. It's different when it's a black guy and a white guy.
Look, no comment.
I'm just saying.
But
like every time I see an interracial couple where the guy is white and the girl's black, like the white guy's always just fine. Like
you just feel like it's something special.
He's got that little thug in him, that little
extra,
that little Eminem,
that little je ne sais quoi.
Hello, they put pepper in his chicken. Like
I love it. And let me just say, I had mayonnaise on my fries today, so I'm very versatile.
Mayonnaise and fries.
Yes,
that's very caucus of you.
The caucasity.
That is very the caucasity. Bro, what are we talking about?
Everything. Andrew,
I love this.
I came for you.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this.
Tell me.
I'm telling you this. I'm telling you. If you go out with a white guy, I will go out with a black guy.
Ooh, can we double date on the second date?
Yes.
Love it.
And then we'll talk about our experiences.
I love it. We'll come back and do a live on that.
Yeah, we can do that. I will date a black guy. I've only stuck to my culture.
Yeah.
And I've been with white. Some of them you'd be surprised. Rachel, you'd be surprised.
What might I be surprised
Rachel got
about?
me drunk. you'd be surprised
right
on
there.
what's going on. Because
right there now.
You know? Now, anyway.
Moving on.
Moving on. Okay, hello. So
this is why I wanted to come.
I'm so happy. See, this, and let me just like sidebar, right? This is why I F's with Rachel so hard. You've been following the show for so long, and you are the vice president of the Central Texas African American Chamber of Commerce, but you're just not a stiff. No. Like, you're just here doing you, and that's what I want everybody watching this to see. Yes. We're in these like positions of authority, whether we want to be seen in that way or not, and we can still just be us. Yeah. And be respected in what we do.
Let me say this from the heart, because I do F's with you too, Andrew. In order to be able to draw people to you and to your message, you have to be yourself. And that doesn't mean they'll always like you. Right. Like you say, you got a little hate mail, but your authenticity can't be questioned. Yeah. Where you stand with people can't be questioned. And so when you call them to action, or you say, this is something that you need to know about. They trust you. They have a rapport with you, and they're willing to open their own minds and expand their own knowledge and actions because a credible source has come to light. And some people think credibility is about credentials. It's not. I think more than anything, and what separates me, if I'm being real, is my street credibility. Yeah, my classmates know who I am. Like y'all know. Sports, clubs, school.
Rachel will get down if she needs to?
Will throw down if she needs to. But fun to be with. And so when I think about who's leading, who the parents are, the voters, taxpayers, decision makers, these are my people. These are my classmates. These are my church members, my neighbors. And so, I would love to, be on a grand stage where not everybody knows my business. Sure. But unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. But I use that to my advantage in that when I talk about the change that we can make, know that I've been where you are. And parts of me still are. Like, we're not going to say I don't know. But the point...
we can whisper.
We can whisper. Hello. But the point is that I want to be inspired and empowered to other people. So you got to lead with vulnerability sometimes.
I appreciate so much how much you have blended your personal experiences in with your leadership mission, for that matter. And I love how you were able to seemingly blend both to move forward and help fuel your drive to make change in the community. I sitting here with you, I just appreciate that so much about you. And I really want people to know that you can do both. Yeah. You can do both. And that's what I was telling you when I was talking to the person on the phone yesterday. I was just like, people are going to know your cap right away. We're all from this city. We're all from this city. Everybody knows the ins and outs of us. Unfortunately, it's small enough for everybody to talk. We all slept with each other. It's just okay.
And you cannot trip on somebody who didn't sleep with somebody else.
You can't get mad because I slept with your man. Like, everybody slept with your man, girl. Like, it's hello. I'm not sleeping with them now. Just saying in the past. That's a joke. But I tell that to everybody. I'm like, listen, we all know the real you. Do you know what I mean? And if you want to step into this new enlightening path of in your life, which is to make a difference in your community, make a difference in the people around you, or just change yourself. Yeah. We're never going to forget where you came from, though. Hello. Yes. Can you clock that?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I ask you a question about race real quick?
Sure.
Before we go to break. Juneteenth just passed. Yes. And it's been a federal holiday, correct me, 4 years now.
Since 2021, you're correct.
Some oppose that.
Yeah.
Some people say that they don't think Juneteenth should be a holiday.
I don't think Columbus Day should be a holiday. Oh. Cheers to that. Top me off for that.
Hold on, wait. Hello.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Let me just...
Yes. Okay. Yes, we'll drink to that.
Yes. Juneteenth is the day that slavery was abolished. Is that correct?
Well, actually...
Or educate me.
Yes. Yeah. Slavery was abolished 2.5 years before that by the Emancipation Proclamation by President Abraham Lincoln. There was still some battle happening with the Civil War, and as I would say, states and areas began to accept that, okay, the battle's been won, the ink is dry, we need to stop slavery. Well, Texas being Texas...
Hello.
And I love being from Texas.
Yes.
But Texas being Texas was like, you know what? nah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep going.
Okay.
And so they kept the status quo going for another 2.5 years. And it wasn't until the military came and said, hey, you people are free and you've been free. And so that was the first Juneteenth celebration, was that the news of freedom had arrived in Texas, and that there was an opportunity for people to throw their shackles off and celebrate and say, no longer do I have to work from sun up to sundown for someone else. And what I build for, my legacy, my family, my wealth will be ours. And so reclaiming that dignity and acknowledging that, you know, it was justice delayed, but freedom is something that's been hard fought for and should be celebrated. Is worth remembering. And I think also, especially this past Juneteenth, we're not just celebrating our ancestors and the historical movement forward. We're also celebrating who's here now, our creatives, our genius minds, our people who are moving in positions of power and just elevating Black culture and excellence. So for those who would say it shouldn't be another paid holiday off, non-working day, I won't quote.
Listen.
I won't quote. I will say this. There are so many more holidays, if you would like to shorten everybody's time off, that you could look at. Again, well, St. Patrick's Day, not a federal holiday, but you could take it off the calendar if you'd like to. Valentine's, very commercialized. You can take that off the calendar if you'd like to. And then again, Columbus Day, Thanksgiving at that.
Wait, girl, I need my ham.
Look, we can still have ham.
We can still have ham.
And we can still have Black Friday leftovers. But again, I think, you know, a lot of things can be unpopular in the moment. Time will tell where we stand with history. And if you're going to acknowledge independence from England, then you should certainly acknowledge the independence of, I would say, enslaved people who had built this country on their backs, who have elevated every family that got wealthy and now owns corporations and has generational wealth. They broke their backs for everybody. And so being able to say that, you know what, we will never forget their contributions and we will never forget what they did to make America what it is today, to make it great. The first time.
That plug, hello.
Look. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
No, she's not playing. She's being totally serious.
But being able to say that America is the superpower that it is because of the work and effort that was put in by African Americans is the truth.
I agree. And I guess my next question, but you said a mouthful there, was for people who don't acknowledge it as a federal holiday, is that racist?
Well, let me say no. That was a great question because that buzzword there has been thrown around, and people think that when you look at color, it automatically makes it racist. Like something has to do with color, it must be racist. No, sometimes it can be ignorance. Okay. It can be bias. It can be prejudice. Racism deals more with the system that oppresses people. And that is why you won't often hear an educated person say that Black people are racist, because we do not control the systems that oppress other people. Now, you can be biased, you can be unfair, and you can be downright prejudiced. But racism itself is something that was constructed through the systematic oppression of people. So we have systemic racism in institutions, in government, and in people that benefit from it and don't want to unravel it.
Wow. Yeah, we got to talk more. I have a lot of questions.
We can always hang.
And you're right. You know, I agree with a lot of what you said, for sure. And, you know, I definitely think, because me and my guest spoke on it on the last episode, racism is definitely taught. You know, and I fear that it'll never go away. Yeah. Because it's passed down for so, you know what I mean? Yeah. But Whew, you guys, we're going to take a quick break, right?
I know.
Okay.
I know it got warm.
Yeah, it got a little bit warm, but we're going to lighten the mood back up, okay? Because I want to know more.
Yes.
I want to know more about your leadership endeavors.
Yes.
I want to dive a little bit into your personal life if you'll let us, please.
Sure. We have already been
We already
in there.
have. She said she was going to try that white meat if I go for the dark meat. So we'll see, okay? Now, you guys, when we get back, we're going to have more of my very special guest, the Vice President of the Economic Development at Central Texas African American Chamber of Commerce, Rachel Pate, is on The Public Affair. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, you ready to get back into it?
I am.
Let's do this.
That's what he said.
Hello. Rachel plays. Rachel plays. I hope you guys are enjoying this episode of The Public Affair. Hello, we gotta just top off because
Yes.
we only have a little bit left here.
Yes.
I'll give you some and then
second half.
okay.
Thank
Here you go. I'm gonna have to eat after this.
I don't
hello.
know that you gave me my fair share. Your share at the bottom. Thank
Look
you.
at
No,
Oh my God. Look, there's not nothing left, girl. You plays. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode of The Public Affair. My very special guest, Rachel Pate, is in the building. Now listen, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by Julian and Ana Banda with Banda's Hauling Service. That's right. They run dump trailers. You fill it up, they haul it away. They also do junk removals, tree brush removals, and they haul cars in and out of town. They also have roll-off dumpster services as well. So in case you're doing that cleaning around the house or you're having one of those big giant parties, because you know the ethnics, we having some big giant parties. No, we do.
invite me.
Hello, okay? Beer cans all over the floor. Okay, hit them up
a
for the
party.
roll-off dumpster services, all right? Book now with the number on the screen. Julian is definitely one of the most punctual, honorable, reliable people I have ever met in his business. Banda's Hauling Service is truly the best. Thank you so much for all you do for me in the show. Of course, to Al Gutierrez and Adriana Gutierrez with Chefito's Kitchen, serving the best in Latin cuisine. Listen, yo soy boricua. So I eat arroz con gandules, I eat pernil, the Cuban sandwiches go hard too. I eat plátano maduro. He has all of that and more at his restaurant, serving up the best Latin cuisine from places like Mexico, from Puerto Rico, Cuba, Colombia, Costa Rica, and so much more. You guys have got to go check them out. Yeah, it's so good, girl.
I love to eat.
Yes, go over there to Union Grove, check them out. And if you need him to cater your next event, he's got you as well. Al Gutierrez, Adriana Gutierrez, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, my boy, Osiel Penguin Benitez with Funtown RV. He is the best in RV sales, and it is summertime, so it's giving camping season. And Lord knows I'm not trying to sleep in the woods. So I'm going to get an RV at the best deal and best price with my boy Penguin, who works overtime to make sure everybody and their family are getting situated and settled in the best RV suited for them. They have toy haulers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and so much more. So habla español, hit up my boy, Osiel Benitez, Funtown RV. He's truly the GOAT. He's going to get you the best deal. Make sure you guys hit him up. My boy Penguin, thank you so much for all you do for me in the show. Of course, to Elite Barbershop. I just saw Sid today. Hello. We were clocking
Fresh
that tea.
cuts.
Do you like this fresh fade?
I like that fresh
It
fade.
was Sid
It's very
Rodriguez.
nice.
And he's got a bunch of snacks over there too. I think one of them likes black girls. So shout out to my boy Sid Rodriguez at Elite Barbershop. It's located on Hewitt Drive. You can call the number on the screen or download the Squire app. Walk-ins are welcome as well. He has Marcus Guerrero, excuse me, Marcus, my bad, bro. Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Isai Reyes, Sam Ceballos, and Kayla Chapa, making you look as snackish as I have for more than 200 and something. I lost count, girl. Episodes of The Public Affair, Elite Barbershop. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring me and the show. And of course, to Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez at Soko Soccer Academy, located. Scratch that. Of course, the Soko Soccer Academy at Dominic Gutierrez and Adriana. Oh my God, I'm drunk.
Look, I just need to put that.
And of course, the Soko Soccer Academy.
You gotta take a whole breath.
I did. I'm sorry, I messed up the first time. You can leave this. They're located at 5100 Franklin Avenue at Soko Sports Center. Soko Soccer Academy, Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training and superb skills training to make your kids superb star athletes. They have some of the best childcare services in town as well. If you guys can need some skills training, Soko Soccer Academy is there. They are truly the best when it comes to the development of the youth, the socialization of youth, taking care of the youth.
Yes.
They're really in tune with the youth. And Dominic was very much played a part in me losing over 100 pounds. So Dominic, hello. You got me all snackish. My DMs are lit. Okay. And I want to give a huge shout out, of course, to the Soko Soccer teams, coached by Coach Morrow, Coach Megan, Coach Jeff. You guys are truly phenomenal at what you guys do. And I don't think the kids are under better leadership than you guys when it comes to coaching. So big kudos to you guys. And Soko Soccer Academy, the Public Affair is here to support any opportunity that I can. Thank you guys so much. All right, guys, we're back with my very special guest, Rachel Pate, Vice President of Economic Development at Central Texas African American Chamber of Commerce. I gotta make sure I put that all in there, girl.
Well, let me add one more thing to my title.
Yes, please.
I am also the Lemonade Day Waco Director. And I love to share that because Lemonade Day is a national program. And up until a year ago, it was run by a different entity in Waco. And so the chamber took it on. I took in the leadership role, and we've just completed our second successful year of having our youth entrepreneurs out in the community selling lemonade, my son included.
Oh, hello.
Yes, train up a child in the way he should go. But being able to celebrate them is something that I enjoy as a parent. Like that part of doing that kind of work, like you say, leadership with kids, guidance, being able to treat them like family. When you've got your kid there, your church members' kids or your coworkers' kids, it is like a fun party and celebration you would be having anyway.
Yeah.
And so I love to be able to take the resources that are available and give them back to our kids.
I think that is fantastic. Big kudos to you. And yes, I'll try to remember that Lemonade Day.
Yes, because I might need you.
Okay, yeah, you can call me. It's fine. I'm very cheap. Okay. Can we dive a little bit into your personal life?
Absolutely.
Please. Okay. Because I want to take a break from the leadership just a second. Do you date Rachel?
Okay, Andrew. I felt like you might dig this up, so I'm prepared to be honest.
Okay.
I have been on a journey of abstinence since I became a mom. I know. Go ahead, put that in the
Wait. So 10 years.
Yeah.
You've been abstinent. Why? Can I ask why?
Yeah, you can absolutely ask why. Because let me just say, I am ready to turn over a new leaf.
Okay.
But a big part of it was finding myself in motherhood, becoming that person that could be a mom and what I had to be, not just necessarily trying to be, but an independent woman at that, and taking that single parenthood on. I felt like I needed to, first and foremost, be stable for him. And that included the job, the career. And once I got into the chamber, without a degree, I had to develop myself through trainings, opportunities, and doing things. So I really felt like I needed to not only strengthen my home, strengthen my mind, strengthen myself, but also get to know who I am at this point, because never as a mother have I been out in the world dating, not just for myself. And so I think God just put that hedge of protection around me where it was like, you got your blinders on, here's the goals, and get there. And so I feel like I have done so much of that sowing, and some of that has come back, the accolades, watching the boy grow up and be, a cool little dude. And this is that thing that I think, even though I wasn't out there, I was cultivating boundaries and being able to know what I want, know who I am, know what I'm looking for, and to be honest, not put myself in the position that I was in when I became a single mother. And baby, yes, it take one time for me to learn that lesson and say, what are you going to do differently? And so that was part of it, pulling back that physical side and being able to tap into just other parts of yourself and understand yourself, and then who you are as a mom. So no, I've not been in a serious relationship. I've been on a couple of, a few little dates here and there, but nothing major, nothing serious ever happens.
Okay, so
I know Andrew's like, and all of this, and now, as I said, I did have a past before that.
Okay, so I guess you. Is Dad around? Like the boy's dad? Or?
We are working on the two of them developing a stronger connection. But yes, his dad is around. His dad is in Waco, and I would say for us, once we got to the point of being parents, and I was like, you know what, every mom should, if dad's a good guy, want to be with the father of her kids. So that was a desire to try to have that storybook kind of relationship, but it didn't work out that way. And if I can be frank about it, I think my ambition would not allow someone who didn't want to move forward in life to be happy and supportive of the moves I was making. And so knowing that, I think the most important part at this stage of my life and my son's life is that he has a great relationship with his dad's side of the family, best relationship he can have with his dad, and leave it to him,
No, you're good.
That was not a tear. That was spit.
That was a little spit.
That was a little spit.
We've been doing a little spitting on this episode.
A mouth tear.
Hello.
But it would be up to him, and this is something that was really important to me, to form his own opinion about who his dad is. I was like, oh yeah, I've never been the person to talk down about someone else's shortcomings in whatever part of life, only because people can judge you about anything that you do. And so understanding that you are still growing and there is still time while you have breath. I give the best wishes and best prayers to my son and his dad's relationship moving forward, that he can see all of the great things that I get to see on a more consistent basis.
It's like... I can't do Rachel. I just can't. It's like, okay, so I appreciate what you said, because here's my opinion is that I feel like every boy needs their dad. And,
absolutely.
Or a father figure. A
strong
for
father.
That matter.
Yes.
And, while things didn't work out with you and the mister. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or the sir, whoever. Yeah. At the very least, I do appreciate the fact that you let your son, form his own. Yeah. And that's important. Were you always that way? Did it take you? Because it sounds like that relationship ended on some shit.
It did. Yeah. And I can't even get into that, but I will tell you personally all about that. And you'll be like, dang, and he's still alive? Yeah.
I'm booking a brunch this weekend. Yes. Okay.
But it did. But again, I have to say, I am not the strongest person in the world, nor do I not suffer from having my own mental anxieties about things. Like, it's not an easy thing to be the breadwinner and the person responsible and take care of you and everything. Yeah. But to God be the glory, I have this spirit of, ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Ain't nobody gonna hold me back. When I say I stepped to that man when I got, and look, he gonna be mad about this. No, it's okay. No, well, you know what? Look, he don't even tune in and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. He probably don't even watch the show. Okay.
But I
don't want to get beat up though.
Yeah, I told him when I went to the chamber and found that I would be getting this job, not realizing where it would lead, what doors it would open. I said, I feel God moving in my life. I said, I feel like he's taking me to a next level, like my prayers are being answered. And I gave him an opportunity. It was like the final kind of it thing. Yes. I was like, do you want to take this ride up? Let's squash everything, forget the past, anything we were disappointed about, and start fresh and build from here together. Like, I'm carrying my end. Do you want to do this? Baby, he gave me a look like this, just like that.
What?
And after a few seconds, I said, okay, that's the answer.
So that told you everything.
That told me everything. It told me, and I have not looked back. And and that's why I say, being able to step forward and be like, I have no choice but to be a great mom and be someone who is pushing, because if I don't, what do I have then? Like, do I just fall back and let somebody else, and by somebody else, I mean like the government or family take care of me? I can't do that, because then it'll put me back in that bum position.
Sure. But when you do find I hope you can start dating again, right? Because
I'm open. I'm ready.
Yeah, I think it's time for you to,
I'm ready. A decade on the shelf,
girl, you got to get back out there. You're
has
missing
given
out.
me perspective, but it has also given me this great, and I'm gonna hold it like this great and precious gift that is waiting to be unwrapped. And it's not just like, oh, look, pretty paper. It's like explosion of confetti and dancers jump out, and there are feathers and lights and all. There are things to be unwrapped.
I think that's great.
However,
yes. For the right person.
For the right person.
I wish I could say the same thing, Rachel. I'm for the street, so it's for everybody.
Look,
it's done. I have to trade my shit in. It's ran through.
That's what got me where I was, and I had changed decisions.
No, first of all, that's a joke, by the way. I'm not as salacious as y'all think.
No, not at all. You're very demure.
But definitely not. Definitely don't practice abstinence. Absolutely not. Yes. I didn't practice abstinence.
You're not a prude. Nor am I.
I've calmed down a lot in the last since I started the show.
Yes.
Versus where for some reason everybody wanted me more when I was fatter and successful. And now that I look all cute, everybody thinks I'm intimidating.
I was just gonna say you're intimidating.
For what? I ain't shit.
Well, who? First of all, let me just give you a shout out. You are shit.
Okay.
Because that's on the record.
Or the shit.
The shit. You are the shit, not just shit, not any old kind of shit, but the shit. Because I remember watching one of your episodes. And you were probably interviewing Frank Bisa. He used to be my son's baseball coach. And I just love the way you moved. I was like, I want to be on that show. I'm not gonna lie. Years ago, I wanted to be on your show, and I felt like I wasn't shit because you hadn't called me.
No, girl.
Yes. So I'm like,
you know, okay, I'll tell you what. When I had Frank on the show years ago, who was a good friend, I think I was in a different headspace on the direction that I was trying to take the show. And now that obviously I've gotten older, right? And you know,
baby, you have matured.
Because even I was telling Josh before we recorded, there's a lot of things that I said in the past that I shared, and I'm like, oh shit, for real. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but even like having now, like, you know, we're just having like this open banter. Like I appreciate those conversations. You know what I mean? But you know, more about you. You know, I definitely think you should get yourself back out there. You know what I mean? And maybe, you know, try.
How do you, if I'm being honest and being real, as a woman over 40, I know I look good for my age.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, they said black don't crack in there.
Baby, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Hello, that's all smooth.
But being a professional, being someone that, as you say, has to have a certain amount of decorum in public, but also, again, fun, lighthearted, and adventurous. How do you get out and find someone that is on that same page in Waco?
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the apps right now.
No, well, we can, because I've been with some people that are in positions like you are, and they ain't shit. You know what I mean? And then some. That's why I just like the fat construction workers, because nobody wants them, and they don't
and
care.
They work hard.
They work hard.
Yes.
They bring the money home.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And they got stamina.
They do. But you know what, Rachel? I'll tell you this. I don't date. I don't like dating. I'm not a big dater, and I'm just really busy too at the end of the day. But you know, now this is a good opportunity for you to kind of like try different flavors of things. You know what I mean? It is. And you know, while the white people, some of them, they can be really good. You gotta be careful, because some of the white people are crazy. No, they do. Some of the white people, the shit that they messaged me, I'm like, hey, back off. And the Mexicans, they don't give a fuck about anything. They'll do it and then leave. Like, they don't care. So sometimes you just need that in your life. You know what I mean? They do. The Mexicans don't give a fuck.
All kinds of stereotypes are coming to my mind that I cannot say on air.
I will say it. The Mexicans don't care. The Mexicans go get what they want and they leave, okay? But it's the white people. The white people, sometimes they put it down too, girl. We're going to move on. But the white people, sometimes they put it down too, girl, okay? Sometimes they do. But if you get the wrong white person, they be fucking some shit up. Like, and
I don't want to stalk her.
Let's not do that. Yeah, they start asking you for things. Yeah, it's like some crazy shit. Yeah. Anyway,
that's what I'm saying. I tell them to not fall in love, fall back.
But do you think when you start dating again, because you know you're a very strong woman, do you feel like you gotta let some of that go though?
Because
a man has to lead.
I do, and I'm glad you. I know you're right. Yeah. You're right, and I'm glad you said that. So. For those who don't know, I've always been a tomboy. Always. I've always loved to be outside, loved to play sports, don't mind getting dirty, don't mind fighting and getting hit. Like, I like to tussle.
That's that South Side.
Yeah. We not even gonna get into the street fights. But yeah, like I used to hang with guys and girls. So I definitely am a woman. I have all the parts and the functions and emotions and a whole kid to show for it. But I do realize that I operate in masculine energy a lot rather than my feminine energy, because it serves me in what I'm doing. I'm raising a boy. Right. I don't treat him like a little girl. So, you know, we roughhouse, we do jujitsu, and I go play sports with him. And I even talk to him with a certain tone that's a little different. And then being a leader in community and a leader at work, I'm closing deals and having big conversations. And so that confidence, and even still, even though I'm a woman walking in a woman's body, I am very equal opportunity when it comes to dealing with people. Like, I just like to be straight. And so I'm down to business all the time when I'm in the office. So like everywhere I go, it asks that kind of energy of me and that strength from me. But then when I'm in the grocery store or I'm at the convenience station, I'm wondering, are they looking at me? Are they looking through me? And what do I give off? So I am trying to, in this season, fall into that softness of feminine energy when I can, whether that is mani-pedi, putting on makeup. I am not a makeup girly.
Okay.
I will wear makeup.
Sure.
No problem. Put it on, no problem. But I don't like the maintenance of always having to do your face and take it off. Like, I just prefer clean skin. But being able to say, you know what, I'm going to go out, put on some makeup, put on the outfit, put on the shoes, and want to be seen and appreciate being seen by men and be looking for it. And so I'm working on that. I could use a coach. And, I got a few. Andrea is one of those people that she's like, I'm passenger, princess passenger. Like, she knows how to ride in a car and not even touch her seatbelt.
Oh,
so,
wow. Okay.
So, like, I need to be able to put a little bend in my wrist. And
you'd be a lesbian's dream. Yeah, you would. The lesbians would go for you. They're probably going to go for you during this.
Well,
Let
me, Andrew, we can talk about that off camera.
I'm just saying the way she's putting everything. If you ever dipped in the lady pond,
in the lady pool,
they would absolutely.
Well, I will say, whoever is interested in me, come for me, because nobody comes for me. Like, you say, maybe it's the intimidation.
It might be that you're too intimidating. I always felt like, and this is bias, right? Because who am I to say? Because I don't date girls. But like, I felt like whenever it came to women, I feel like a woman that is too headstrong.
Yeah.
That's like a turnoff for men. I always felt like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I do.
I
do.
Like, I feel like a man, not that they have to have total control.
Yeah.
But I feel like a man wants a woman that's like gonna just like. Let the man be a man.
Let the man lead. Let the man be a man.
No man wants to have a woman where the woman's calling all the shots.
True.
Unless they're just a bum.
And let me just say this. No woman who's had to call all the shots by herself wants to be that woman every day.
There you go.
And so I'm like, look at me.
Yeah.
I'd love some help on them bills.
Hello.
I would love to not have to YouTube something about how to fix something because it broke down and it's just me, but I will do what needs to be done. So I can honestly value what not just a man brings to the relationship, but I would say a partner who is supportive. And I think from there, being that you had a piece of the conversation with me, finding somebody that matches my energy, like being able to have deep conversations about things that matter to us. And then I think second only to being a Christian.
Yes.
You don't have to be at church every Sunday, but have your own relationship with God. But second to that, I think you have to be of the political mindset of most of my views. Not everything, but I think someone who's ultra conservative, like you say, denounces Juneteenth, not my cup of sweet tea.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I think the white men that like the black ladies like you, I think that they'll be down with it. Yeah, they'll celebrate Juneteenth with you and everything and have you cook. But God, Rachel, I hate that we're running out of time, but we're definitely going.
Already?
We are already, girl. I hate it so much, but we're gonna have to. First of all, you're coming back for a part 2 soon.
Yes, we got to.
And we are gonna have our own private brunch.
Yes.
But there's a question I do want to ask you before we go. With your position of leadership in the city, right, and especially at the Central Texas African American Chamber of Commerce, and you're being a single mom too, right? And then while you have your personal life going on, how do you balance all that? And because you seem so sane to me, but do you just go home and crash out?
Well, look, there have been times, there have been moments, and it wasn't always that way. I think when I first started working at the chamber, like first couple of years, I would sleep every weekend. Like I get off work and my whole weekend would go to sleeping because my mind would be going. I would feel so like mentally and physically exhausted from attending events and doing stuff after work. In this season again, because we do roll in seasons, in this season of my life, cultivating time with family, making sure I'm getting away. Like I just came back from Margaritaville.
Hello.
Yes, just an adults only kind of trip with my cousin. And we are going on a family trip next month to South Carolina. So I want to create time where work and community are far from my mind and I can enjoy family life and just being myself, which, a lot of people in my family call me Rach. And that's when Rach gets to come out, when you don't have these responsibilities and all of these things kind of pressing on you. But in everyday life, I am learning to say no more. Part of what makes me successful and get enjoyment from what I do is being a low-key people pleaser. Like, I feel good helping somebody. And I like the gratitude when someone who really needs something or was in a desperate situation and you came through and you were a help. I love that feeling of appreciation because I feel needed. But being able to say every problem is not your problem, every emergency is not for you. saying no, respecting your time, your boundaries, and then getting up each day and making time for yourself. Whether every day I center myself before I go out into the world. To be honest, I don't like my work day to begin before 10 o'clock. Yet.
Oh, wow. Really?
Really?
Girl, I'm up at 5. What you talking about?
I mean, that's nice if look, that's nice if you ain't really got nothing to do. Like if you can get up at 5 and run and have your coffee and your breakfast and take a nap at 9, great. But if you got to go into somebody's office, that to me feels like pressure. Like I got to get in here, I got to get this. I don't like to be rushed. And so being able to like drop my kid off at school and maybe spend an hour of time for myself or after work to go for an hour, 45-minute walk, and then just getting, I would say, in better shape.
Yeah.
I think that is a lifestyle change and a journey. So I am in Pilates. And I do, that Pilates body.
Girl, you are ready to get back out there. Don't play with me.
I am ready to get back out there. And if you think this is all right, give me 6 months. You're going to be able to bounce a quarter off my backside.
Darling.
Do you hear me? Yeah.
So y'all heard that. Men and women or just men?
Gentlemen, please.
She said the girls can look, but they can't touch. Okay,
Well, although, anybody can take me out on a date, though, platonically.
Oh, hello.
Yes,
yeah.
I can have great meals and conversations with anyone.
You gotta be careful with the gays though, because they're aggressive, especially the lesbians.
Are they? Well, look, I got these hands.
You better, because if you don't get them what they want, baddies.
I won't even throw the hands up. That's how fire they are right now. But they so quick. I just slapped the camera and you didn't even see it. Like it was. But I asked my son about it when he touched my radio in the car.
Oh, for real?
What you think you're doing? So
I have one more question.
Yes.
It's about your motherhood.
Yes.
What is the biggest fear that you have as a mother when raising your son? It's actually kind of 2 questions.
And I got 2 answers. I think the big thing, same thing that I feared for myself in being a mother, is not being a success. I fear that for my son. And it's not being any one particular job or one particular place, but that feeling of success, being a self-sufficient adult, being able to take care of yourself, being there for your family. Like for him to not have that instilled in him and grow up in this world self-centered, not caring about his kids, disappearing, and certainly not taking care of his mama who did him right, I would feel some type of way. But I would say in this day and age, truly, coming into manhood for my son, I'm afraid of violence.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of violence. And that when I say, when you put things into perspective, that is one of the hardest things that I could imagine having to deal with, is to lose your child. So again, working in community and trying to at least put positivity out there so that when he gets out there on his own, he can make the good decisions and be in a great place that will let him blossom and not push him down and hold him back.
I love that. Listen, Rachel, I have a whole newfound respect for you.
Thank you.
And liking to you. I feel like I've been sleeping on this interview for a very long time. My bad, girl.
It was the time.
I would love to hang out with you in an outside setting.
Hang out.
Yeah, we have to, girl.
Yes.
We're going to fuck some shit up. We're going to go see Anika. Yeah,
yes.
You know what we're going to do? On Sundays.
Okay.
Okay, listen, on Sundays, go to your church, do whatever you got to do, get a babysitter. And then we're going to meet at Sam's Bar, where Brandon Moreno is the bartender. And he makes the mimosa. You think these are strong. His mimosas go hard. And our girl Nika's going to be there too. Our Armstrong's
I love that.
Yes, she's going to be there too. And we're all just going to fuck some shit up. Okay?
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday.
All right.
Yes.
I like that.
We're doing it on a Sunday. I don't care. Matter of fact, don't be surprised if I call you this Sunday.
Look, you
Before
have
the episode comes
I was just
out.
going to say, you have my number. And
Hello.
I consider us not only professional colleagues in the community, but also personal friends. Again, I've wanted to sit down with you just because, like you say, a lot of people are uptight and stiff in community, and you do not have to be that way to make a point, to be heard, or to be impactful. So thank you for being an impactful, unique voice, bringing perspective, someone from our community who is showing what's possible for young professionals and new leaders in our horizon and midst.
Thank you. So that means so much to me. Thank you. And thank you for being, in leadership as long as you have, and showing the future aspiring entrepreneurs or even people still in leadership right now. That you can just be yourself and you can be genuine and still get what you want accomplished.
Yeah, you can.
Yes,
you can. You can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, brunch. Okay,
brunch.
yes, okay. You guys, I'm so sorry that we did run out of time today, but Rachel, I had one of the best conversations I've had in a really, really long time. You know, I definitely love how lighthearted the episode was, and I love just how knowledgeable you are when you speak, and just like your tenacity and things. Thank you for coming in. Honestly, I love it so much. Now, you guys, I've got more of the Public Affair on the way. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Now, before we go, I just gotta give a shout out just a few more sponsors.
Go ahead.
A few more sponsors.
They pay the bills.
Okay, yes, and the studio fees. I want to give a huge shout out to Jeffrey Monroe with Oil Box and Audio, home for all your LED needs and auto accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and so much more. He put that bass in my car. So when you guys hear Cheetah Girls and like Britney Spears or Christina, you know, with the bass in South Waco, at South Terrence, that was me. I sure was at, oh my God, what's the name of the apartment complex in East Waco?
You said East Waco. Stella Maxey or Trentwood?
Trentwood. I was in Trentwood. Yes, Mama Shakira. They fuck with me over there though. They do. Yes. I was told that the East, South, and North fucks with me. And so I feel very safe in the community. Thank you so much. But anyway, he's your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. And Jeffrey's actually single. Really? Actually, hello, Rachel. Yeah.
Jeffrey's single?
Jeffrey's single. So why don't we hey, Jeffrey, if you're listening to this advertisement, we might be hooking up on a date with Rachel. Hello. It's time for you to try New Me Too, Jeffrey. To Boy Box and Audio, thank you so much for all you do for me.
Look, did you hear me say no?
Yeah, she did not say no, Jeffrey. I'm texting you. I'm texting you. Of course, to my girl, Ali Monas for Hummingbird Party backdrops and decor. Call for all your party decor, including beautiful balloon props, giving an extra flair to your party or event with a number of wooden backdrops as well. She is the go at decorating all your upcoming events, corporate events, private events, birthday parties, weddings, quinceañeras, and so much more. All you guys got to do is reach out to her with the information on the screen, let her know exactly what you're looking for, and she's going to work effortlessly to make sure that your event stands out amongst the rest. Sabla Español, Ani Limones, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair, and of course, my very good friend Julio Arriaga with JC Painting and Drywall LLC. Contact for all drywall and beautiful new paint for your property, both commercial and residential. His work is honest, it's true, and can guarantee 100% satisfaction, truly living by his slogan, just imagine, and he can make it happen. He's Cuban, he's married, girl. He's married, yeah, that one's married, and I love the wife too. She's super sweet. Yeah, I know, yeah, they're so sweet though. It's such a good family, and they have beautiful kids, and it's such a beautiful family. Now, Julio Arriaga, muchas gracias por todo, mi amigo, muchas gracias. To JC Painting and Drywall LLC, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. To all of you guys, thank you for tuning into this episode with my very special guest, Rachel Pate. If you see us at Union Grove on Sunday with Brandon Moreno and Anika Armstrong at Union Grove and Armstrong's Bayou Cafe, and we're messing stuff up, just mind your business. Yes. And don't forget to always keep it between us. That's it.
I hope this doesn't offend you.
No.
But you're like the Wendy Williams of Waco.
Oh my God, thank you for saying that.
Like,
thank you for saying
that. Very plugged in.
Did y'all get that on camera? Please put that in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh
but
my God.
That's what I'm saying. Very plugged into what's going on.
Yeah.
But very light about it and not offensive, but some people could be offended. And you're okay with that because you're like, I don't mean to offend, I just mean to ask. Like that curiosity and asking the things that people won't ask and being able to, I would say, keep the mood light enough where people are honest with you. I think that most people should let their guard down.
I agree. And I appreciate you saying that so much because she was a very big inspiration for me because when I watched her, we're keeping this in the show, by the way, like before the mid-shows, please. Yeah. But when I watched her, she had everybody on that show.
And she knew
from all backgrounds.
Everything.
Yeah, she did.
She knew homework. Who was trash before it hit the main. She was talking about Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, and all these
she
long before. And so that's why I say, like, live long enough, you'll see who was right.
Yeah. But no, that is a high compliment. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.